We are heading back into Raze's hell against my better judgment. This video should be slightly better than the first one. If for no other reason, then we're doing it on easy mode. It is not a cakewalk. Screw you, Raze's hell. Ugh, this game. Also, the levels we're going to look at are a little bit more interesting than the first handful we checked out. And we are going to meet a new character that I wanted to show off in this opening series of cutscenes. So let's meet our new friend.
But you should have seen him, Your Highness. He was 20 feet tall if he was an inch, and he spit fire and he launched rockets from his fingertips, and he...
There, poor baby. It must have been awful.
It was, actually.
Was it as bad as this?
I have no idea how it got so much power. It must have something to do with one of the Alex.
Well, it has to be stopped. See to it, Doctor. I want results, and I want the artifact test done right away.
Jawohl, mein Princess.
And Craig was captured when we were ambushed.
So if Craig is captive, how did you find out that the Culet have an artifact?
We received word from Craig's informant, Nihilus.
Nihilus? There's that name again. He's a regular fountain of information, isn't he? The princess has ordered the test schedule moved up.
But
No
sir...
buts! And we must have that third artifact moved to the caverns immediately. Schnell!
Yes, sir, Dr. Mingle.
It's Mingele! Mingele! Raze, I found the way into a relic site. Come meet me.
There's our guy. I should not have called him a friend. They literally put a character named Dr. Mengele on the Culet's cast of characters. Oh my freaking god, this game. They're incredibly on the nose, but that probably sounds like some Godwin's Law shit. Like, just say Americans are literally Nazis. But, I mean, there can be little argument that Americans are imperialists at this point. That was pretty well established by 2005. And the difference between imperialism and fascism is kinda splitting hairs. It is mass murder based on nationality. That's basically the definition of imperialism. And fascism would be mass murder based on race. So really not that far off to put a literal Nazi on the side representing America. They are pretty bold to go there, but go there they did, and I applaud them.
Say there is another artifact in there. Let's go in and get it. We'll see what happens.
So I intentionally went the wrong way, and it actually rewarded me this time.
Through that gate. All follow.
They gave me a bunch of ammunition, including something for a new weapon. The Smasher. Smasher does dramatically less damage based on range. So if an enemy is really any sort of distance away, they will take little to no damage from the Smasher. But at point blank, it's basically a one-hit kill. And you get a decent amount of ammo for it. Let's see if we can get a good look at what they're firing at us. They're like adorable teddy bears. There they are. They will do a lot of damage. so they are not to be underestimated. And they, of course, are explosive, they cover a gigantic range. They're bad news. One of the reasons you do not want to still be playing on normal mode at this point. We can't go through that gate yet. Had I been paying more attention to our irritating host, Gremlin, who's always flying around, we would have known that. These things are awful. Environmental explosives that are just crystals. They would have no reason to explode. But you run into them and you die. Really no way to weaponize them against the culets. So they are really just traps for you to roll into yourself. They really should have done more to visually signpost that those things will blow up on you. It's kind of artificial difficulty. They do punish you for using your roll as a weapon by making it hurt you every single time you hit an enemy while rolling. It kills them, but it costs ya.
I should warn you, it's not pretty up ahead. They enslave your people and work them to death.
Here's where all the environmental crystals, they're gonna kill all of our friends. The other members of our unnamed species, who we should be saving, they are mining the explosive crystals. And they're all gonna die. Because if we don't blow up those crystals, they're gonna blow us up. Might be tempted to stay down on the bottom level and fight the enemies yourself. But this will make it much faster. This turret here. Although if you just stand there, you'll get hit with a bunch of teddy bears. So you gotta prioritize killing those things before they kill you. And the automated turrets, those things are so awful. They're the main reason that I bumped it down to easy difficulty. The automated turrets can see you from a million miles away, shower you with bullets, hit you surprisingly accurately from any distance. They really make this game dramatically less fun. There is but one remaining. Oh, someone's behind me somehow. There they are. Another one of those freaking turrets. They take a lot of hits, but surprisingly, our starting gun is very, very useful for dealing with the automated turrets. I don't know why, because its damage output is pathetic on flesh and blood enemies. But on automated enemies, it just tears them apart. We saw it with the, yeah, I guess I should have used my terrible starting gun. But for some reason we saw it with the helicopters at the end of the last level. Just the starting gun does inordinate amounts of damage to the enemy machinery. We didn't waste too much time with that death, but I will certainly try not to die again. Start with the bomb shooters. That is nothing that I'm firing at, just a little bit of the environment. And the protector relic is slowly overheating. So we'll step back, regen a bit, and repeat. In the future, we will not be so lucky as to have protector relics at our disposal and blow up all of our friends. At this point, it is largely unnecessary. Doing it anyway. Start with our Ripper. And approach the final turret. Thing is, you do have to get kinda close because the Ripper is very, very inaccurate. And here's where the nuke we need is located. We don't actually know why we need a nuke yet, but one exists in the environment, so we do need it. The teddy bear in flight managed to block my shot. That's an interesting mechanic. And just to show it off, as I already did, the driller, you can zoom it in twice. It's the ultimate in sniper rifle technology. Takes some time to eat some corpses.
Raze, they opened the gates to send in reinforcements. You can get through now, but keep that nuke handy. I start tanking ahead.
Yeah, largely unrelated to our actions. The gate that was blocked is now open. But we had to come down here anyway. Past all of our dead friends.
Uh-oh, where'd he go? Oh, this isn't good. No, sir, this isn't good at all.
You're noticing, perhaps, that our weapon wheel, we've got 4 weapons assigned, but our bombs aren't up there. Because we now have 5 different weapon types. Which, this is one of the ways that the game's controls really break down. Once you have more than 4 weapons, you have to take a lot of time to assign which ones you want in your quick swap. Takes a lot of time. It is quite poorly implemented. Because you have to bring up the menu and then use your analog stick, which is very imprecise, and then use the D-pad, and the Xbox D-pad is very bad. So you cannot do that in combat, because our health pool is so low, we'll just die before we get the weapon we want selected.
I keep starting in and out of the edges of my peripheral vision.
But we do want that blaster ready to go, because there's a lot of reinforcements. We don't actually have to kill them all. We kind of want to. No ammo. But that went fairly smoothly. That would have taken a lot longer back on normal difficulty.
Princess Raze, try to keep up.
Ugh. This is the final section of this level, I believe. And I got stuck here for a very long time on my practice run. Because, let's just go around the corner here. There are 4 turrets that we can see. And I think there are at least 4 more in the area. Nothing but turrets as far as the eye can see. There is one other thing out there. There's a grenadier. Just one guy with a grenade launcher. And we want him dead. Because he will make it much more difficult to get rid of these turrets. Turrets which are just at the very limits of the Ripper's range. So we have to get within range of the turrets to hit them with the Ripper. This section is awful. It's not difficult at all. All we have to do is get in range and hold the fire button while our Ripper very slowly deteriorates the health of the turret. Then we let the Ripper cool down, we let our health regenerate, and we repeat the process. It is incredibly slow and tedious, and there's really no better way to do it. We could have saved ammo for any of the other guns, but none of the other guns are more effective than the Ripper at doing this. So this is not the section that I said was better than the preceding levels. Got explosive crystals, which actually have the opportunity to do a little damage to the enemy. One more enemy. Huh. He managed to matrix dodge 4 or 5 shots there without even moving. How impressive. Even if we don't blow up our friends here, they tend to die in the crossfire. We can pretend they're not dead. They're just sleeping. There are still 2 or 3 more turrets out there. And they do have a clear line of fire up this pathway that I just rolled down. So we're not in the clear yet. Our best weapon at this point, since we're so far away, is the one that I do not have selected. The Spiker. So this waist-high barrier, it also has an invisible hitbox that extends just to our line of sight with the enemy turret. It can fire just slightly over it. The turrets can. And keep hitting us, but we cannot do the same. Because the hitbox is just slightly high enough. So that should have been all the turrets. Cleared out. We got our nuke. There's one more problem that lays in our path. And it's a big one. It's a very big one, in fact. It is right there. That mortar, if it hits us, it's a one-hit kill. Just regardless of what our health is at. If it fires at us, we die. So it's turned away from us. We go plant our nuke. And then we roll away. And we make sure that thing explodes. Because after we clear out that whole section, this thing comes in. And if you're not prepared, one hit kills you and you have to do it all again. Because the checkpoint is over here.
They're putting the artifact on a helicopter. We have to stop them.
This is the last section. I actually made it through the preceding section on normal difficulty. It was just very slow and irritating. This section I could not. Not because it's more difficult than the last one. Just because it's even more tedious and irritating, and my patience had fully worn out after the section with the tank. I was done with it. And I continue to be done with it. I am not going back to normal difficulty. Couldn't save this giant corpse. You can't save anybody in this game. There are no optional rescue missions. It's very grim. I have overestimated the Smasher. It has merely knocked down my opponents. Now they're dead. And now I have to eat them. Some of their guts went flying way out of range. So won't be eating those. Oh, our tutorial gremlin. He's been yelling at us to chase the helicopter.
The artifact is being placed in a helicopter. Stop it from leaving.
There he is again, reminding us how dire the circumstances are if we don't stop the artifact from getting to that helicopter. It is impossible to stop the artifact from getting to the helicopter. That's all scripted.
This is how you whine.
So he's just whining for no reason. All of his dialogue for this entire level is utterly pointless, because we're gonna fail in our mission anyway. Cannot overstate how just uncomfortable it is to the hand to have to repeatedly hold down that L3 button to eat these corpses and refill our ammo and all that fun stuff. Don't have any driller ammo. That sucks, because the driller is very useful here. We're about to enter a long-range battle. But we don't have the driller, so we're gonna have to make do. The spiker is almost as good. But they're gonna launch grenades at us. We do have to charge the spiker, which kind of sucks. There's also some guys off in the distance with those teddy bears. So we can't go out in the open. I remind you that we are on easy difficulty at this point. Just died pretty much instantly there. I think this path is the slightly easier one. It's the one I took on my successful run. So we'll give it a shot. It's the more reckless one. And it's got turrets. And just as many grenades. But it's faster, and it'll get us to the guys with explosives more quickly, so that we can kill them. And once they're gone, things will be that much easier, because they're the ones doing the majority of the damage. The majority. That was a stray machine gun bullet that took me out.
The artifact is being placed in a helicopter. Stop it from leaving.
Yep. Easy difficulty. A cakewalk, says Raze as hell. Ugh, this game. I mean, it's getting closer to being a video game. There's more variety and whatnot as we get deeper into it. Which is good. Desperately needed. Just took a point-blank bazooka shot. Still getting chewed up from the side. And here comes more grenades. Pretty regenerated at this point. Kill that guy, because he's very deadly. But yeah, it's getting closer to being a video game. It's slightly more fun as we have more options opened up to us. But the increased difficulty that accompanies these changes kinda makes up for the increased fun. Evens it out a bit. We gotta kill some more enemies to get this gate open.
Relic is secured for transport. Away we go.
Gate's open. And I didn't need enough corpses. Yep, there's our friend waiting for us, watching the helicopter leave with the artifact. Because we've already failed.
Stop him from leaving.
All that we're doing is pointless. Get ready to do some sniping as we wait for our health to regenerate.
Coming.
I think those guys with the helmets have more HP, but are otherwise pretty much the same. So I think we're right about where we left off. We do gotta get rid of the turrets. Turret. I saved a little bit of driller ammo this time.
Relic is secure for transport. Away we go. The monsters, not me.
And to avoid a repeat of last time... Ugh, still lobbing grenades at me. Ugh. Wish you would do something. Gargoyle. And some sandfishy guys right at the end. We should be done. Yeah, that is why I had to bump the difficulty down.
What I said. Now I'm saying something different. Read my lips. We can't take the chance while that thing is on the loose.
I understand, Your Highness.
I want all the artifacts here in Utopia now, and I want that mutation, or whatever it is, dead. Do you understand that? Dead!
You don't need me here. I'm going to sneak behind their lines. I have to find out how much they know about you. Oh, I say we just destroy the artifacts. We can't take a chance on the Qlets learning how to harness their power.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Destroy the artifacts. That seems like a noble goal. The Qlets are so very dangerous. We simply can't trust anybody with the continued existence of the artifacts. I guess. The artifacts that we just learned about a couple minutes ago. This level that we're in, by the way, is pretty close to being good. Not great, but relatively speaking, it's on the decent side.
Do not destroy the artifact. You must awaken the power of the ancients.
Oh, someone disagrees with the awful flying thing that hasn't helped us at all so far. Who do we trust? The mysterious voice? Or the miserable blob that follows us around? We are gonna trust the voice. Yeah, I think that's a wise decision on Raze's part. We're getting pretty close to having a plot in this game. Sorta coming out of nowhere and distracting from the larger themes of the game. But it's something. These guys. Let him do his self-destruct. Ah, there's our artifact. The Ripper is also incredibly good at dealing with the self-destruct guys. The Plunger Bears. if for no other reason than the fact that it has preposterous amounts of ammunition, and all of our other guns have very, very limited ammo. So for dealing with enemies that have very low HP, Ripper gets the job done. Yep. Speaking of limited ammo, got pretty good spiker ammo, and that's a decent gun. Don't want to go this way yet. In fact, if we do...
Do not forget to activate the first artifact. Place it on the altar.
We'll get yelled at by the mysterious voice. Because, regardless of who's pulling the strings, it's a very but thou must game. Which was pretty much the style of games at this time. And Raze is not a character at all. Like, we are just playing as an entity, a symbol, really. It kind of is unfortunate. Like, I would feel better if we actually had a character with goals and motivations. But, I am a little worried with how this game would handle themes, because it is already dangerously close to having a bit of a noble savage thing going on, which is not so good.
Excellent, Raze. You must activate the remaining artifact.
So we gotta do what we just did several times. Which is where this level falls apart a little bit. But we're still doing something. We have a goal. It is video game-esque in its execution. The first handful of levels we played, they were like the skeleton of a game. Like if you were to open Unity and like load a completely blank game on which you would build a game with gimmicks and stuff, you would pretty much have the first handful of levels that we played in Raze as Hell. Like there was nothing there. And it's only slightly better at this point. But I'll take it. So we got a new weapon, the Igniter. It launches a gob of flammable liquid. And any shot that hits that flammable liquid will set it ablaze. I think we are immune to the fire? Yes, we are. Which is good because it covers a huge portion of the environment. It also covers the screen with smoke, making it very hard to see. But any enemy that it touches while it's on fire, that enemy will scream and burn and die. Which is fairly entertaining. Oh, I should have stealth killed that guy. Oh well. Instead, I'll eat his corpse. So they've got us going against our tutorial gremlin, which I am honestly okay with. I have talked about tutorial gremlins in the past, in the Darkness 2 Let's Play, but that is pretty much my least popular LP, so I'd be surprised if anyone heard me do that. They are an archetype that you see a lot, primarily in Western games. For some reason, they really want to have your tutorials in canon, in a lot of Western games, but they can't think of a clever way to do it. So they just have an irritating, like, goblin guy who follows you around and blathers commands at you non-stop. It's an awful archetype. It always fails, and the guy they have here in Raze's Hell is the worst example I've ever seen of a tutorial gremlin. So I have no complaints about them making him an enemy of ours, at least for this level. But the larger intrigue of the game seems to be heavily hinting at the fact that he is not on our side. Hopefully we'll get to kill him, because he sucks.
Hello? Never get a date. Huh? Get him!
I think I like the cavern environment slightly more than the outdoor environment. We're rolling around in this bowling alley. It's vaguely amusing. Still lacks personality. It's very bland. Not much to look at, but a little more to look at. The glowing mushrooms that are the same color as our ammunition pods, but do not provide us with ammunition. Very confusing. But they give it a little bit of visual flair. Not much, but almost enough. I thought I saw a bomb explode behind me. There's this weird squealing sound effect. It's very, very faint. But it's like this shrieking sound. And it comes from our ammunition pods. So you can sort of follow it to get closer to ammunition. But I don't know why our ammo pods make this, like, horrible sound. It's actually the same sound effect, or at least very, very similar to the sound that the character Skillet makes in the show 12 Ounce Mouse. That is... no one's gonna get that reference, but if you do, you know what that sound is, and you hate it. Even though Skillet is a likable character in 12 Ounce Mouse. For the record, I love 12 Ounce Mouse. I have it on DVD. And that DVD is out of print and worth literally like $200, maybe even more at this point. I almost just threw it in the trash during my last move, but I'm glad I didn't. I looked it up on eBay at the last second before doing so. And it is very valuable. Possibly more so since 12 Ounce Mouse has been renewed and is getting new seasons. Against all odds. I haven't even seen the new seasons. I have been shirking my duties as a fan of terribly animated, avant-garde Adult Swim shows, of which 12 Ounce Mouse is one of my favorites. Let's see if we can get done with the igniter here. You do have to shoot the igniter shot after it has been launched. I'm not doing so well on health or ammo or anything at the moment. The last level had sections that were actually extremely difficult if you tried to rush through them. This level has a lot of moderately difficult sections, which will kill you with a death of 1,000 guts, like so. They'll just constantly, gradually wear down your resources till you die. And that is one of the worst checkpoints in this level. quite a costly death there. So we don't even have the next artifact yet, so as to place it, which is our goal. But, weird thing is, the next artifact is right next to the altar on which we are going to place it. So, not having it yet, actually not as big of a problem as it seems. Just gotta fight our way to that altar first. There was some ammo there. Of a gun that I already have full ammo. Going the wrong way.
This artifact as well.
So there's just like a line on the floor, and every time you cross that line it plays that sound effect, which is awful programming. It'll even make the sound effect overlap itself. Just goes to show how poorly made this game is. But I continue to play it more full. It just speaks ill of me. But I do like this game. I like the message. And the gameplay is fun when they let you play it. Like when you have all the guns at your disposal, you get to choose the ones you want to use in the moment. You're actually going to have a pretty good time. It's just that they don't let you do that very often. Get this sucker out of here. Try not to explode in the process. And then go get some giblets. We've killed just about everybody at this point. I am going to want to get rid of this guy. And we've only got close range weapons. We're gonna have to weave through some missiles. And then weave back out. This guy right behind me. There he is. One left, and we're good. So, here's the altar, right about here, and here's the artifact. Barely even trying here. Just gotta do this one more time. First, we gotta kill some guys. Up.
I see a bright light beckoning.
That looks kind of nice. Little skylight into our cave. Pretty well done. Refill our igniter, which is pretty much useless. Yeah, we are badly gonna need some more ammo.
Hey boy,
If we're gonna get anything done here.
something over there. I'll track it down, though.
Here comes the missiles. Go bowling. Probably the best way to take out the enemies at this point, with our low ammo count. There's an actual gun. There are some enemies down there, but we're gonna have to explore that area a little later. The enemies will be there waiting for us when we do.
I don't see the monster. Where'd it go? Shit.
We don't technically have to kill everybody, but I think we do have to cross this bridge here. And we'll be taking a lot of fire if the enemies are still alive when we try to do that.
Eat this. I think I spotted something down there. Yeah, sure.
Ugh. Yep. Gotta get that artifact.
You have the final artifact, Raze. Now place it like the others. Awaken the ancient and powerful sword.
Is anyone following any of the names in this game so far? Like, there was a cutscene at the beginning of the last level where they were like, Craig said that Nihilus is gonna do some stuff. And you, unnamed character, are also doing some stuff, but I don't know what is going on with any of these characters. It's all nonsense. Like, they have no personalities. It's unfortunate. Our tutorial gremlin that I keep complaining about literally has no name. I think he introduced himself as the Guardian or something. I mean, just as well, because he also has no character. But he's clearly plot relevant in some way. Should have given him some kind of name to go by. All we really got is Raze. That's all we care about. They also didn't name the princess. She's just the princess. But they did name Dr. Mengele. So when they do drop a name, it's kind of important. Thematically speaking. Still have no ammo to work with here. Precious little health. Even on easy mode, we just die very, very quickly. Guess I'm going the right way, though. Oh, this is part. So this section should have way more fanfare, I think. But Culets in power armor are now teleporting in with rainbows to kill us. And kill us they certainly will. These things have way, way more health than anything we've fought so far. They do way more damage. They are immune to most of our attacks, which we just saw. The driller did nothing. The igniters will do literally nothing. They're fireproof. So, we don't have a lot of options here. I don't know what this does. I've never noticed this on my weapon wheel before. So, I guess we're gonna find out. I can apparently breathe fire. Now, like I said, they're fireproof, so this doesn't help me at all. And I don't know when I gained the ability to breathe fire. But whatever, let's put it on our weapon wheel. Why not? I don't really know how I'm gonna crack these guys, because I don't have any weapons. But we'll figure out something. I think I saw, yep, igniter ammo back here. a weapon to which they are immune. And we got a little bit of Spiker. So there's a lot of these guys. They're gonna do a lot of damage. There we go. And they like to pose after they do so. I do appreciate how stylish they are. Not how murderous they are, though.
I know I saw something.
But like I said, this is a section that should really have a lot of fanfare. Like, this should be the introduction of the Flood levels. Of, like, a moment. But instead, there's, like, no dialogue lines about it. There's no musical stings. It's not even a very important event. This is just us approaching the altar on which we will eventually put our artifact.
Don't let your guard down.
They're even immune to our rolling attack. And they take 1,000,000 melee shots. This sucks. Got a little bit of Spiker ammo now.
This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one's mine.
Just the quotes from famous movies.
Cute little kid.
Just pitched up. That's a joke, apparently. The humor in this game is atrocious. Just really, really bad. It's not offensive, surprisingly, for a 2005 video game. But it's very unfunny. Agonizingly unfunny. There was one line that I didn't hear in this recording, but in my practice run, someone said, "Oh my god, they killed Private Ryan." Simultaneously a South Park and Saving Private Ryan joke. Miserable. And generous to call that a joke.
You're the one who freed me. I have been asleep too long. I will help you destroy this invading force.
I decided to stay quiet for that cutscene, but there was no sound effects anyway. Wasn't much of a point, kind of anticlimactic.
So by taking the shaman's advice, Raze set free an imposing ally, making him that much more powerful and that much more difficult for the princess to suppress. A fact which did not sit well with her at all.
How could this freak possibly have triggered the relics? You said these artifacts would only work on someone like me. Someone of noble birth. Someone of superior...
It makes no sense. He must be getting help.
And what about my so-called army? What good is having an army if they can't kill things for you? I want each and every one of them taken out and...
He already killed them all.
Oh, right. I guess I have him to thank for that, anyway.
What are we going to tell the press?
Don't worry, I've taken care of that.
A tragic accident was reported today at an archaeological dig in an area known as the Caverns. The princess had sent the expedition to bring several artifacts to the Utopian Museum of Natural History when an explosion completely destroyed the site. Palace officials say the princess is heartbroken. Meanwhile, officials speculate that the cause of the explosion was likely a natural phenomenon.
Raze was a natural phenomenon, all right. What wasn't so natural was the alliance forming near him.
Then it's agreed. We work together for our mutual benefit. Oh, one last thing. Anybody ever tell you that you're a good-looking chap? Right back at you, Slick. I met with Nihilus. He told me where the prisoners are being held. We might even get lucky and find Craig there. With Raze's strength, Nilus's inside information, and more fighters, we could turn the tide. So what happened back in the caverns? I thought we agreed you were going to destroy the artifacts. Or not. Hey, no problem. I'm flexible.
The conflict. You can feel it. And of course, very important moment there where they just go right out and say that the media is sanitizing the imperialist war efforts. Another big important piece of that satire that I really appreciate about this game. And it's one of the few things that I appreciate about this game. I do like this rock. That's actually kind of a nice looking piece of the environment. And surprisingly, it didn't explode and kill me when I hit it. That's also a nice twist. We're done here. I'm not going to play this level. I shouldn't have shown that cutscene, but I wanted to because that's an important part of the satire, and I think they did a good job with it. Wasn't thrilled about that I'm not gay, it wasn't all an act part of the ticker down at the bottom, if anyone noticed that. But, you know, still wanted to show that off. I don't think we will be continuing with this game. This game is not good at all. It's basically shovelware, and it should have been forgotten. Except for its messages, which are excellent. So we've shown off the important parts of Raze's Hell. Kind of an unfortunate waste of some very good ideas. Maybe I'll come back to it and show off the rest. It will require a small miracle, which I don't think this game is fit to deliver. But hopefully you've enjoyed what you've seen of Raze's Hell. Thanks for watching.